The universe was wide, silent, and endless. Between the shining stars and floating worlds, space stretched like a dark ocean, waiting for travelers, dreamers, and lost voices. Many ancient civilizations once lived in this quiet sea of stars. Some rose, some fell, and some left only whispers behind. On one peaceful blue and silver planet named Loria, life was simple and beautiful. Soft glowing forests covered the land. Silver rivers flowed like glittering ribbons through green fields. The Lorraines, gentle beings with calm eyes and graceful forms, lived in harmony with nature. Their world was quiet, free from conflict. They believed in kindness, learning, and peace. But peace does not always protect a world. Far beyond their skies, a dark danger moved like a storm. The Varkal Dominion, a cruel and powerful empire, searched for new worlds to control. They believed only in strength and domination. Their ships were sharp like blades, their engines burned like fire, and their hearts carried ambition without mercy. When Varkal scouts discovered Loria, they marked it as weak but valuable. It was a peaceful world with rich resources, fertile land, and no strong defense. The Lorraines felt the first tremor of fear in centuries. On the highest tower of the Crystal Hall, Lorian leaders gathered. Their shining robes moved softly with the breeze. The council leader, Elira, spoke with calm sadness. Our people cannot fight. Our world is gentle. But the Varkal Dominion will soon come. We must call for help. The council murmured with worry, but Elira raised her hand. There is an ancient device, she said softly. A beacon left by travelers long before our time. Our records say it can reach a distant protector race, beings of strength and great honor. Many had heard stories about these mysterious protectors. Some believed they were mythical. Others thought they were extinct. But hope, even thin hope, was still hope. Elira placed her hand on a glowing panel, activating the ancient beacon. Far below the crystal floors, deep inside the planet, a forgotten machine woke from centuries of sleep. Its engines hummed softly. Lights flashed like returning stars. It reached across the universe like a voice carried by light. The signal traveled through wormholes, across dust clouds, past frozen comets, and between galaxies. It carried one simple message: peaceful world in danger. We request aid. The Lorraines prayed for a gentle race. Wise beings, calm guardians, healers, diplomats, they waited. Hours passed, then days. Clouds drifted. Stars turned overhead. The air remained still. Hope began to fade. Then suddenly, the sky tore open, not with quiet light. Not with gentle ships, but with thunder. The air vibrated. Clouds split apart. Space itself rippled like water hit by a stone. Great metal figures appeared in orbit, one after another. They were not smooth like Lorian ships. They were not soft, round, or delicate. They were powerful, enormous, majestic, and terrifying. Humanity's dreadnought fleet had arrived. The Lorraines stared upward, astonished and confused. Their silver eyes widened in awe as massive steel-armored ships hovered like mountains above the atmosphere. Each vessel glowed with controlled energy, silent but brimming with impossible power. They had expected gentle healers. They had summoned giants. The lead ship, HGS Valor Eternal, cast a shadow like a second moon. At its center was a shining symbol, a human hand reaching toward a star, a sign of hope, bravery, and unity. Inside the bridge of the Valor Eternal, Admiral Rowan Hale stood straight and calm. His face carried years of discipline and purpose. His voice was firm but warm, Beacon confirmed. Peaceful civilization requesting defense support. Unknown threat classification. Fleet maintains peace stance. No hostile action unless fired upon. Around him, officers worked with precision. Their uniforms were sharp, their movements coordinated, their hearts steady. Humans had faced war, tragedy, and hardship for centuries. They had risen stronger each time. Now humanity stood tall among the stars. Defenders, explorers, protectors. Open communication link, Rowan ordered. A gentle blue light formed on the command table. Elira's face appeared, nervous but hopeful. We asked for help. Elira began softly, her voice trembling. We feared a cruel invasion. We expected— Rowan smiled just a little. His voice was calm and respectful. You expected softer faces. I understand. But peace does not always wear gentle armor. When innocent worlds call, humanity answers. Elira bowed her head respectfully. We thank you. We are a peaceful people. We did not expect such strength. Rowan nodded. Peace must be protected. That is why we came. Below, Lorraines gathered in the streets, looking up at the sky with amazement. Children pointed with shining eyes. Elders whispered ancient stories about guardians of the stars, protectors who rose when darkness grew too strong. Suddenly, alarm bells rang across the Dreadnought bridge. A radar officer spoke quickly. "Admiral, unknown ships detected at edge of system." Varkle signatures confirmed. "Fleet inbound. Estimated arrival in 3 hours." The bridge quieted. Every officer froze for half a heartbeat, then moved faster. Rowan's voice remained calm. "Prepare defensive grid. Shield calibration priority. Keep weapons offline until threat confirmed hostile." The Lorraine Council panicked, but Rowan's steady voice reached them again. "You are not alone anymore," he said. "Stand strong. We will protect your world." On Loria's surface, leaves rustled in a gentle wind. Flowers glowed softly in the twilight. Peace and anxiety mixed like two streams joining into one river. Lorraines gathered in the open gardens, holding small lights in their hands, a symbol of hope. They did not know if these new humans were fierce saviors or unstoppable storms, but they saw kindness in Rowan's face and resolve in his voice. Above them, dreadnoughts shifted into formation. Their hulls shimmered with blue shields. Engines pulsed like beating hearts. Human pilots sat ready. Engineers checked systems. Medics prepared for emergencies. Everyone's mind was clear. Protect the innocent. Defend peace. Meanwhile, Varkle ships crept closer, confident and arrogant. They did not know what waited for them. They had crushed weak planets before. They believed Loria would be another easy victory. They had not met humans. As stars glimmered in the growing dusk, Admiral Rowan spoke softly, almost like a whisper carried only by the stars. "Humanity stands as shield and light. Let no darkness touch this world." Silence followed. Calm, strength, purpose, and so. The first chapter of this new alliance began not with fear, but with hope. Rising like dawn across a peaceful world, the Lorraines had called for help. They did not just find protectors, they summoned humanity's dreadnoughts, and the universe would soon learn what that truly meant. The dawn rose gently over Loria, painting the sky in soft blue and gentle silver. Light touched the glowing forests and quiet rivers, filling the world with peaceful beauty. Yet this morning felt different. The air held both hope and fear. High above, humanity's dreadnoughts floated like silent guardians, powerful and calm. In the heart of the city, the Crystal Hall stood ready for visitors. Lorraine leaders had prepared a welcoming place with flowers that shimmered like tiny stars and banners that fluttered like golden wings. They wished to show respect and friendship to their new allies, even if these allies arrived in shining metal giants. Elira, the council leader, stood at the entrance. Her eyes were gentle, but she felt nervous. The Lorraines had never hosted warriors before. Their world knew peace for thousands of years. Now they waited to meet humans whose ships looked like mountains in the sky, strong and unshakable. A soft hum filled the air. A transport craft slowly descended from the largest human ship, the Valor Eternal. It moved with grace despite its heavy armor. Light blue thrusters glowed softly, and dust swirled gently beneath it as it landed on the smooth white platform. The hatch opened. A group of humans stepped out. They walked with steady steps, wearing light armor suits that shined faintly in the sun. Their uniforms were neat, their boots polished, their faces focused yet calm. These were not conquerors. They did not walk with arrogance or cruelty. They walked with quiet honor. At the front walked Admiral Rowan Hale, tall and strong, with thoughtful eyes. He did not carry a weapon in his hands. Instead, he carried trust. Behind him were officers. Commander Rhea Lynn with sharp, intelligent eyes, Officer Malik, a calm engineer, and Dr. Anna Morelli, a healer with warm, kind expression. Elira stepped forward and bowed slightly. "Welcome to Loria. We greet you with respect." Rowan bowed in return. His voice was steady, deep, and sincere. "Thank you. We come in peace and purpose." The Lorraines relaxed a little. Their bodies glowed faintly with relief like soft moonlight. Rowan noticed and offered a gentle smile. "Your world is beautiful," he said honestly. "It is peaceful." "We honor your way of life," Elira nodded gratefully. "We are thankful for your arrival. We called for help because danger approaches. We feared no one would hear us," Rowan's voice softened. "Humanity believes no cry for help should be ignored. Every peaceful world has the right to safety. His words touched many hearts. Even Lorraine citizens watching from balconies felt a wave of comfort. Humans looked strong, but their kindness felt stronger. The hall of light inside the crystal hall, glowing plants lined the walls like living lanterns. The air felt warm and gentle, filled with a sweet scent of blooming flowers. Humans looked around with quiet wonder. Commander Rhea whispered to Rowan, "I have never seen a place like this. It feels like a dream." Rowan nodded. "Respect it," he reminded softly. "We are guests among peaceful people." At the center of the hall, a round table formed from clear crystal floated slightly above the ground, shimmering like water under sunlight. Elira invited them to sit. "We wish to know our protectors," she said kindly. "We do not wish for war, but we wish for understanding." Rowan took a seat. "Then let us speak openly." A hologram appeared above the table, showing the Varkal Dominion fleet approaching, dark shapes like sharp claws, moving fast. Elira's voice trembled slightly. "They will come soon. We fear we cannot survive without you." Rowan studied the hologram calmly. His eyes showed no panic. Instead, they showed calculation, strength, and patience. "We have faced enemies before. Humanity stands ready." The Lorraines exchanged hopeful looks. Dr. Anna Morelli leaned forward gently. "We also bring medical help if needed. We care about lives, not only battles." A young Lorraine healer named Cyrilus looked surprised. "You heal as well as fight?" Anna smiled brightly. "Of course. Protection means many things." The Lorraines felt even more comfort. These humans were not only powerful, they were balanced. Strength and compassion together. A walk through the city. After the meeting, Elira guided the humans through shining walkways and gentle gardens. Children peeked from behind glowing trees, curious but not afraid. Some waved shyly. A little Lorraine child with bright silver eyes approached Rowan carefully and offered a small flower glowing like a tiny star. Rowan knelt with a smile. "Thank you," he said softly, accepting the gift with great respect. The child giggled and ran back to her parents, who looked grateful and relieved. Humans were not monsters. They were noble. Commander Rhea whispered, "Children trust us. That is honor," Rowan nodded. "We must prove worthy of it." As they walked, they saw artists painting light into the air, forming gentle shapes. Musicians played soft crystal instruments that sounded like water flowing over stones. Malik, the engineer, listened with eyes wide. "Your culture is peaceful and beautiful," he said to a Lorraine elder nearby. The elder smiled. "We believe beauty grows where fear does not live." Malik nodded slowly. "On Earth, we learned that beauty can survive even during hardship. But seeing a world without scars, it is rare. We will protect it." The elder bowed gratefully. The shadow of war suddenly, the calm skies shimmered. A distant rumble echoed through the air. Lorraine guards and human officers looked up quickly. A human officer spoke into his wrist device. "Admiral, long-range scans detect movement at system edge. Enemy scouts confirmed." Rowan's face hardened slightly. Not with anger, but with duty. "Inform fleet to maintain defensive posture," he ordered. "No engagement unless they attack." He turned to Elira. "The enemy tests your skies. They are learning we are here." Elira's calm shook slightly. "Will they come soon?" "Yes," Rowan answered truthfully. "But you will not face them alone?" Elira placed a gentle hand over her heart. "Your courage brings hope to us." Rowan bowed again. "Hope is strength. Hold it." Unity of worlds back inside the hall. Humans and Lorraines shared food, soft glowing fruit, gentle bread, and warm tea with a calming scent. Humans introduced a simple earth fruit, apples. A Lorraine tasted one and smiled brightly. "Sweet and strong," she said. "Like your people." The humans laughed softly. Elira looked around the room, seeing the two species sitting together. Fear was fading. Trust was growing. "We believed the protectors from ancient legends would be peaceful spirits," she said. "Instead, we received warriors with kind hearts." Rowan answered gently. "Spirit or soldier, true guardians protect life." A soft tone echoed in Rowan's communicator again. Another alert. The enemy moved closer, but this time fear did not fill the hall. Hope did. Rowan stood firm and steady. "We will prepare. Rest and have faith." Elira bowed deeply. "Our world trusts you, Admiral Rowan. Humanity came when we called. That will never be forgotten. Rowan looked out toward the horizon where stars glowed softly in the coming night. The universe can be wide and dark, he said, but no darkness lasts forever when hands join together. The Lorraines lifted their lights, tiny glowing crystals, in silent agreement. Above them, humanity's dreadnoughts adjusted formation, shields humming like a promise. And far beyond the peaceful sky, the Varkal Dominion advanced, unaware that this world was no longer alone. Humanity had arrived, and they would stand like unbreakable mountains. Night touched Loria softly, laying a silver blanket across the sky. Stars shone like diamonds above calm forests and glowing rivers. The world looked peaceful, but every heart knew the truth. Danger was coming. High above the quiet land, humanity's dreadnoughts floated like shining guardians. Their blue shields glowed like calm flames. Their engines hummed gently like steady breathing before a long storm. Humans worked tirelessly on the giant ships, preparing for what they knew was coming. On the bridge of the Valor Eternal, Admiral Rowan stood with hands behind his back, watching holographic screens that showed deep space. Beside him, Commander Rhea scanned the tactical display. Enemy fleet entering outer system zone, she reported in a calm voice. Long-range sensors show multiple large vessels. They are moving in attack formation. Rowan nodded slowly. His calm never changed even when the threat grew. Estimated numbers? 40 main warships. Over 200 support craft. Scout units ahead of main force. A quiet breath moved across the bridge. Not fear, but focus. Humanity had faced many enemies before. They knew the rhythm of danger and the strength of unity. Officer Malik checked shield systems. All shields stable. Power flow clean. Dr. Anna spoke softly from her station. Medical bays are ready. We hope they will not be needed. Rowan gave her a reassuring look. We always hope for peace, Doctor. But we prepare to defend peace with courage. Warning, across the sky on the surface of Loria, Lorraines gathered around delicate lanterns glowing like small suns. Their soft voices danced with worry. Elders comforted young ones. The gentle people had never seen war. They did not understand the force that approached, but they understood fear. Suddenly, the sky shimmered. Human ships sent a giant hologram message across the clouds. A calm symbol appeared, a hand holding a star, the mark of Earth's peace protectors. A voice echoed warmly. Remain calm. You are under protection. Stay inside safe shelters. We stand with you. Lorraine hearts eased. They trusted these new allies. They believed in the promise of protection. Elira watched from the Crystal Hall balcony. Her silver eyes reflected the shining dreadnoughts above. She whispered softly, Please guide our protectors. Please bring peace. Enemy arrival in deep orbit, space rippled like fabric touched by fire. Dark shapes emerged from the void, the Varkal ships. Their hulls looked like black claws. Their engines burned crimson. The fleet moved like hungry shadows spreading across the stars. Varkal warships lined up in formation. Their leader, Commander Velkar, appeared on human screens. Broad shoulders, cold eyes, and a voice like stone. Unknown forces, Velkar spoke sharply. You stand in our path. Leave this world. It belongs to the Dominion, Admiral Rowan answered with controlled calm. This world is peaceful. It belongs to its people. We will defend it. Velkar laughed, a chilling, empty sound. You protect weak creatures? Then you share their fate. Rowan's reply was steady without anger. Strength means protecting, not taking. If you attack, we will stand as shield. Velkar narrowed his eyes. Then you will be broken. The transmission ended. Silence filled the bridge. Deep, heavy, unshakable. Rowan spoke softly, like a man who made peace with duty long ago. Prepare defensive line. No firing unless fired upon. His voice was calm, like the ocean before a wave rises. The first strike moments later, red explosions burst across shields. The Varkal had fired first, powerful beams aimed at the human line. But the dreadnought shields absorbed the attack like a strong wall holding back a raging storm. Commander Rhea's voice rang firm. Shield stable. No damage. Rowan nodded once. Return controlled fire. Disable do not destroy unless necessary. Human cannons lit the sky with bright, focused beams. They did not fire wildly. They fired with precision, targeting engines and weapons. The first Varkal ship trembled, engines fading, drifting helplessly. On Varkle screens, fear flickered. They expected easy victory. Instead, they found mountains of steel and courage blocking their path. Lorraines, watching from the ground, saw flashes in the sky. Some gasped. Some prayed. But none ran away, because humans stood above them like guardians carved from starlight. Human strength, human heart inside the valor eternal, the crew moved with practiced grace. Officers spoke clearly, engineers worked with quick hands, pilots prepared fighters. A young human technician whispered nervously, "I have never seen so many enemy ships." Malik placed a hand on his shoulder. "Courage is not the absence of fear. It is standing even while afraid." The technician breathed deeply and nodded. "Yes, sir." Far below, Lorraine healers prepared safe rooms and calming shelters. They did not know war, but they followed humanity's example. They acted with kindness and calm. "Cerealis," the Lorraine healer whispered, "if they protect us with strength, we protect them with hope." The sky burns. Quietly, powerfully, more Varkle ships moved in, attacking with aggressive force, firing volleys of energy. The human dreadnoughts held position like pillars of light, shields glowing brighter with each strike. Human fighters dashed forward, small, fast ships like silver arrows. They danced around enemy vessels, disabling weapons, cutting engines, forcing retreat rather than destruction. Commander Rhea called, "2 enemy vessels disabled. Fighter wings returning." Rowan nodded. "Good. Show mercy but hold firm." A Varkle commander shouted through open channel, frustrated, "Why do you not finish us?" "Why not crush your enemies?" Rowan answered, voice calm and clear. "Because we choose to protect life, not end it. Even when facing aggression, we hold to honor." Many Lorraines heard that message. Tears of hope filled their eyes. They never imagined warriors could be gentle in victory. A turning moment, but peace never comes easy. A larger Varkle ship moved in, an enormous, armed heavily. Its cannons glowed bright, gathering energy for a massive strike. Rhea's eyes widened slightly. "Admiral, that weapon will target the capital." Rowan gave one slow nod. "Neutralize threat. Minimum force required." Human dreadnought engines roared softly, shields flared brighter, and precise beams struck. In seconds, the giant Varkle ship lost power, falling still, harmless. On the planet, people watched a bright flash in the sky. For a moment, everything stopped. Then a wave of relief spread. Soft whispers turned to quiet cheers. Humanity had stood between peace and destruction, and peace remained safe. The enemy retreats. For now, Varkle ships drifted back, regrouping. Their confidence broke like glass. They came expecting fear. They found strength wrapped in kindness. Belkar's voice returned, colder than before. "This is not finished," Rowan answered softly, firmly. "We will be here." The Varkle fleet slowly retreated into deep space. Not defeated completely, but stopped, held back by something stronger than force alone. They would return, everyone knew. But today peace held. After the battle, silence fell across space. Humans did not cheer loudly. They checked systems, helped disabled enemy vessels float safely, prepared to rescue survivors if needed. Even in conflict, they honored life. On Loria, crystal bells rang softly, a tradition of gratitude. Elira broadcast a message to every home. Today, we saw strength that protects, not destroys. Humanity did not come to rule, they came to stand beside us. Children hugged their parents. Elders blessed the sky. Warriors and healers from 2 worlds walked side by side. Rowan looked out at the peaceful world below and said quietly to himself, "We came not to conquer, but to care." Let this be the truth we carry across the stars. The stars above shone brighter, as if they agreed. Morning returned to Loria like a gentle song. Sunlight touched quiet rivers. Soft flowers opened their glowing petals, and peaceful wind moved through shining leaves. But beneath the beauty, everyone remembered the night sky full of battle light. It was a new world now. A world that knew danger, and also knew protectors. On the ground, Lorraines and humans walked side by side. They worked together, talked together, and learned from one another. The silence of fear was replaced with hopeful voices and strong hearts. Rebuilding and preparing, in the Lorraine capital, human engineers set up protective shields and early warning systems. Silver towers with soft blue light stood across the city, humming gently with energy. Officer Malik supervised the work, speaking kindly to Lorraine helpers. "Careful with that power line," Malik instructed gently. "It will carry shield energy." A young Lorraine technician nodded, trying hard to copy the human method. "I never worked with machines like this," she said shyly. Malik smiled. "You are learning fast. Technology grows faster when shared." The Lorraine's face glowed with pride. She looked around at the working humans and said, "Your people build with protection in mind. You do not place weapons first. You build shields first," Malik nodded. "A strong shield saves more lives than a sharp blade." Nearby, Dr. Anna trained Lorraine healers. They worked with light crystals and natural medicine, while Anna shared human medical tools and gentle techniques. Surrealist. The Lorraine healer watched Anna carefully and said, "You bring peace not only with strength but with care." Anna smiled, warm as sunlight. "Every life has value. Healing builds peace for tomorrow." Together, humans and Lorraines created something new. A future built on trust, not fear. Lessons in peace and courage. Children gathered in gardens watching human soldiers practice drills. The soldiers moved in calm formation, not showing aggression but discipline and teamwork. Their movements looked like a flowing dance, strong yet respectful. A Lorraine child asked softly, "Why do you train if you do not want battle?" A human soldier knelt and answered kindly, "Because peace must be protected. If we are strong, danger stays far away." The child nodded slowly, understanding. Elira watched quietly, her eyes filled with gratitude. She turned to Admiral Rowan, who stood beside her, observing both worlds blending gently. "Your people bring more than defense," Elira said. "You bring courage to our hearts." Rowan looked at the peaceful gardens where children of both species now played without fear. "Courage grows when people feel safe. You had peace. We only help guard it." A soft breeze carried flower petals through the air. For a moment, everything felt calm, like peace had grown roots. The shadow returns, but peace never walks alone. Its shadow is always challenge. In deep space, the Varkal Dominion gathered once more. This time, they brought more ships and darker, heavier, powered by pride and anger. Commander Velkar stood before a giant hologram of Loria and the human fleet. "Our failure cannot stand," Velkar hissed. "We are the Dominion. We take what we choose," a Varkal officer bowed. "The humans are strong, Commander. They're ships. They protect without hate," Velkar glared. "That makes them weak." But even among his crew, doubt flickered like a spark. "We launch full force," Velkar commanded. "Crush their shield of kindness." The fleet began to move, a dark wave prepared to swallow a peaceful shore. The calm. Before the storm back on Loria, Admiral Rowan stood on a high balcony of the Crystal Hall, watching the horizon. He felt something, a quiet tension like air before a storm. Rhea approached. Scouts detected energy waves in distant space. "The enemy gathers again," Rowan nodded slowly. "Then the true test begins." Elira joined them. Her voice was gentle but steady. "Will they return so soon?" "Yes," Rowan replied. "They tasted resistance and now seek to prove themselves stronger. But we will be ready." Elira placed her hand over her heart. "We trust you," Rowan looked at her kindly. "And we respect your trust. Humans carry duty like flame. Once lit, it never fades." Standing together in the city courtyard, humans and Lorraines gathered. Rowan spoke to both groups, his voice calm, strong, hopeful. "Danger may come again, but do not fear. You are not alone. We stand with you, Mara, not as rulers but as friends." A Lorraine elder raised his crystal staff and said, "Our world learned peace in stillness. Now we learn peace with courage." A human soldier raised her fist to chest respectfully. "We fight only to protect. We hold the line for all who wish to live free." Children watched with shining eyes. Hope filled their hearts like light fills a quiet room. Technology and nature unite. As hours passed, humans installed new solar fields, and Lorraines planted glowing vines across shield towers. The vines merged with the technology, forming natural energy conductors that strengthened the shield systems. Rhea watched this happen, amazed. "Your plants carry power?" A Lorraine scientist nodded proudly. "We grow energy as you build it. Together we grow stronger." Rowan looked at the merging systems and spoke softly. "This is how peace becomes permanent, not by walls, but by shared roots." The alert just as the sun dipped toward the horizon. Alarms sounded across both worlds. Soft tones, not harsh sirens. but enough to turn every head upward. Human screens lit up. Space rippled. Enemy fleet detected, an officer announced. Large numbers. Full assault force. Lorraine's froze. Their glow dimmed with fear. Humans stepped forward, calm and ready. Rowan raised his hand. Shelters open. Evacuation to safe zones. Fleet to battle positions. His voice did not rise. He did not shout. Yet everyone moved quickly, trusting his calm like a steady anchor. Elira looked at him with worried eyes. Can we stand this storm? Rowan placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. We will not let the storm touch your heart. A world that believes Lorraine's moved to shelters kindly, helping elders and guiding children. Some carried small glowing lanterns, symbols of hope. Human soldiers guarded entrances, offering smiles and gentle words. This is only a wave, one soldier said kindly to a Lorraine elder, and waves always break on strong shores. The elder replied, and we have found strong shores in you. Above them, dreadnoughts powered up, engines glowing brighter, shields growing stronger. Yet there was no anger in the air, only duty, courage, and unity. Varkal fleet arrived. Space tore open like fabric, and the Varkal fleet poured through, more ships than before, darker and burning with ambition. Their engines screamed power. Their weapons glowed with violent energy. The quiet stars trembled. Velkar appeared again on human screens, voice sharp like cold steel. You should have left. Now we take the world and break your pride. Rowan looked at him without fear. Pride is nothing. Protection is everything, Velkar snarled. We will crush your shield. Rowan replied gently like a father correcting a child. You cannot crush what stands for others. It only grows stronger, and in that moment even some Varkal officers hesitated, for his words sounded like truth. The final piece before battle alarms steadied, shields shimmered, ships aligned. Humans breathed deeply, shoulders straight, hearts strong. Lorraine safe in shelters, held hands and whispered prayers, and not of fear but of hope. Above them all, humanity's dreadnoughts glowed like rings of light around the world. Rowan whispered to himself in the silent stars, we stand for peace. We stand for life. Let the stars witness our duty. The enemy approached. The defenders waited like mountains carved from light. The storm was here, but so was hope. The sky above Loria burned with color as the Varkal fleet advanced. Engines flared crimson. Weapons glowed hot like distant suns, and their ships moved with swift determination. From the planet below, Lorraines watched from shelters, hearts pounding. Children held their parents' hands tightly. Elders whispered prayers not of fear but for courage to guide them through the darkness. Above, humanity's dreadnoughts hung like massive guardians, shields shimmering blue and white. Each ship pulsed with steady energy, a promise that no harm would reach the peaceful world below. The humans were calm, disciplined, and prepared. Their confidence was not arrogance, it was certainty built from experience, strategy, and a commitment to defend life. Admiral Rowan Hale stood at the bridge of the Valor Eternal, hands clasped behind his back. His eyes scanned the holographic display of approaching enemy ships. Commander Rhea Lynn stood nearby, ready to coordinate the fleet's moves. Every officer, every crew member was in position. Fleet formation Delta is ready, Rhea reported. Fighter wings at launch points. Shields at maximum. Weapon systems primed. Rowan's voice was calm and steady. Remember, precision over power. Protect, do not destroy unless necessary. Today we show the universe why humanity stands as a shield, not a sword. The first clash, the Varkal ships fired first, beams of crimson energy ripping through space toward human dreadnoughts. The shields flared and absorbed the impact. The sky lit up like a storm, explosions glowing across the void, but the humans did not waver. Every strike was calculated, every movement measured. Fighter wings launched like silver arrows weaving through enemy lines. They struck engines and weapons, disabling ships without unnecessary destruction. Enemy pilots could only watch as human coordination seemed flawless. Humanity did not panic. They adapted, countered, and pressed forward with skill and confidence. On Loria, Lorraines watched the battle unfold. Children pressed their faces against shelter windows. Elders clasped glowing crystals for courage. A soft hum filled the city as humans activated planetary shields, gentle arcs of energy forming protective domes over critical areas. Lorraines whispered together, awe mixing with gratitude. These humans were not monsters. They were guardians in shining armor, turning the tide. The Varkal commander, Velkar, growled in frustration. His fleet had expected fear and chaos. Instead, they encountered unity, strategy, and unexpected mercy. "Target their command ship. Destroy their lead vessel," Velkar shouted. But even his officers hesitated. The humans' defense was coordinated, precise, and unyielding. Rowan's voice over the fleet's communication channel was calm, even inspiring. "Do not underestimate the power of protection. Fight if you must, but remember, we only strike to defend life." The Varkal ships faltered. Some of their smaller craft broke formation, unsure how to respond to the disciplined human fleet. Humanity pressed forward, disabling rather than destroying, showing control and mastery. Their courage inspired even the Lorraines watching. Where fear had been, hope now flourished. Lorraines joined the fight from the shelters. Lorraine engineers and healers activated planetary support systems prepared by the humans. Energy conduits linked natural crystals with human technology, boosting shields and redirecting power where it was needed most. Lorraines had never fought a battle before, but under human guidance they contributed to defense. It was not violence, it was protection, a way to safeguard their world. Young Lorraines guided drones that repaired shields mid-combat. Elders calculated power flows, amplifying energy to critical points. Children cheered from safe observation areas, their voices carrying hope into the stormy sky. Humanity's presence had turned fear into action, showing that courage is contagious. Rowan watched with pride. They are learning what it means to stand for life. We protect not only with strength, but with guidance. The final assault, Velkar, enraged by repeated failures, ordered the main armada forward. Massive warships, bristling with weaponry, moved like shadows swallowing the horizon. The Varkal intended to break through and conquer Loria. Rowan's calm remained unshaken. "All units, Formation Omega, shield focus to planetary grid. Fighters take the front line. Protect civilians at all costs." The Dreadnoughts shifted like mountains of light, forming a protective wall. Shields flared brighter than before. Energy pulses hummed through the air, steady and reassuring. Every human, every Lorraine played their part. The Varkal fired their largest weapons, beams powerful enough to destroy cities. The sky exploded in violent color, yet human shields absorbed the attacks and Lorraine-powered systems redistributed energy to strengthen weak points. No city fell. No life was lost. Fighter wings darted through enemy lines, striking engines, disabling weapon systems, and retreating before counterattacks could hit. The humans fought with precision, courage, and mercy. They did not destroy everything in their path. They dismantled aggression and preserved life. The moment of truth, Velkar's flagship, the largest vessel, surged forward, attempting to breach the defense line. Red beams flared. The enemy believed it was their final chance. Rowan calmly issued orders. Target engines and weapon arrays. No unnecessary destruction. Focus on neutralizing threat. Massive cannons glowed and fired, precise energy beams striking the flagship. Shields buckled, weapons went offline, engines faltered. The Varkal ship drifted powerless in space. The fleet hesitated, realizing their leader was neutralized. On Loria, Lorraines and humans alike watched in awe. Children cheered softly. Elders blessed the defenders, and the city's light pulsed brighter as the shields held strong. Velkar roared in anger and fear. "Retreat! Retreat at once!" But even his retreat was cautious. The humans did not chase. They allowed the enemy to withdraw, showing mercy after strength, a lesson in honor. Victory without vengeance. The sky cleared. Human dreadnoughts returned to orbit calmly. Fighters landed. Shields gradually powered down. The Varkal fleet had been stopped. Loria was safe. Rowan addressed both humans and Lorraines from the Valor Eternal, his voice calm, strong, and filled with warmth. Peace has been preserved. Life has been defended. Strength without mercy is empty. Today we showed the universe what it means to protect others. Elira stepped forward, tears shining in her eyes. "You came when we called. You fought and you healed. You taught us courage. Humanity is not only strong, it carries hope." Children gathered, small faces glowing with wonder. "Will you stay?" a little Lorraine asked shyly. Rowan smiled gently. "We will always stand for peace even if far away. You are never alone." Lorraines joined humans in quiet celebrations. They repaired systems, shared food, and taught each other songs of hope. A new bond had formed between two very different worlds. built on trust, courage, and the will to protect life. A new understanding in the following days. Humanity helped rebuild Loria fully. Energy systems were improved, shields strengthened. Lessons in strategy and care passed from human to Lorraine. Together they had turned fear into knowledge, chaos into preparation, and darkness into hope. Velkar and the Varkal fleet retreated into the void, weakened and humbled. They had underestimated a civilization that combined strength with compassion. The lesson would spread across the galaxy. Humanity stands not for conquest but for protection, for honor, for life itself. Admiral Rowan watched the Lorraine sunrise from the Valor Eternal. The rivers reflected light, forests shimmered, and cities glowed softly. Peace had returned. He whispered quietly, "In the dark, someone must carry the light. Humanity chooses to stand for life." Lorraines cheered softly, their glow bright with joy. The humans smiled, proud but humble. Together they had faced the storm and emerged stronger, wiser, and united. The beacon that had called humanity lay quiet once more, a signal of hope now fulfilled. But the story of courage, of unity, and of honor would be remembered by all who had witnessed it. Across the stars, a message spread silently. When humanity answers a call for help, they do not come alone. They bring courage, hope, and the promise that life is worth defending. And somewhere far beyond, the universe seemed a little brighter, knowing that when peace is threatened, the dreadnoughts of humanity will rise, not to conquer, but to protect.